Hello there, how are you? I'm fine. My name is Habimana Jean-Claude, and I'm coming from Rwanda. Yeah, Rwanda. And yes, I'm Rwandan, and I'm a science communicator, if you may call a science communicator, or people they even sometimes they say science communication expert, but sometimes they say okay, either an expert or specialist, it's okay. But my today's topic, a colleague of mine, she asked me why today science communication is becoming a very important topic than when you compare 20 years or 15 years back. It is a very tough question because there are so many indicators that can be actually referred to explain these questions. Some of these, there are so many questions that why so many people are now becoming science communicators than the way we used to know. So many people back, they either call themselves scientists, others they call themselves communicators, journalists, writers, publishers, media practitioners. But nowadays we are having another concept of science communicator or science journalism. So we are living in now an era of so many information, massive information coming from different directions, coming from different perspectives, with so many intentions. People they bring information either to mislead people, to disinform people, to disrupt, to make people panic, even to put people in the fear. And some experts, they call it, we are living in the era of misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, where people either they lie others intentionally or without knowing, or just for fun, or even to disrupt or to destroy others' achievement. So as science become more part of our life today, there are so many things that always come with it. So many publications, they're happening everywhere. So many innovations are happening everywhere. But because people, they have so many different needs, and people, they want either to put others in a distraction. At one side, on one side, disinformation and misinformation, they are taking part. On another side, there are so many science fundings or just publications that are happening there, which are they have intention to make people lift from their one stage to another. Innovation in agriculture, innovation in irrigation, innovation in urbanization, innovation in food security. But all this information, they are somewhere in scientific journals, in scientific libraries, in scientific gatherings, where the local communities we are talking here, they are even not aware about it. Some scientists, they have tried to come just together. Even some, they try to do their best to make sure that their research they are being understood outside the scientific world, but they end up losing effective communication between themselves and the community they are serving. Because of terminologies, because of scientific languages, all these, they make the situation even worse, not even difficult for the farmer to understand. So from that perspective, science journalism or science communication is there as a bridge, as a channel that connects the science, the scientists, and the communities, and the final and the last audiences, who are the farmers, who are the communities, who are the ordinary people. If someone says, an example, CO2 what do you expect my grandma she will understand when she's burning out some plastic in her farm? When people they talk about this carbon, the dioxide, and the other very dangerous, which always affect the air we breathe, and they use this kind of terminology, I think the motorbike, someone who's riding motor, will never understand those kind of terminologies. But when you put it in a context, that is people they will understand. Grandma, when you burn a plastic, the smoke that is coming from the burnt, so all these kind of things that you are burning, they are very and very dangerous to your life. They are polluting the entire environment. They are polluting the air, the air you are breathing. They are destroying the entire environment, and in a few hours you will be having some headache, smoke in your nose, and your lungs will be affected. So all these, it's one example of how science communication is very relevant nowadays, in order just to make sure that the audiences, the last consumers, they really understand. But so many people, they are not aware about it. Even the people, they mixed up what is science communication, the difference between science communication and the researchers. The researchers, they can be science communicators as long as they have at least journalistic skills. I repeat this again. A scientist, they can be a science communicator, even the best one, if he has additional journalistic skills or journalism skills. Understanding the audience, understanding the language of the audience, understanding the channel of communication, understanding the environment, the noises, disturbances, and all these, and the value of information. Because all the information, they are not relevant to the farmer. They're not relevant to my grandma. My grandma, she need some information that either to lift her from suffering of cultivating with machete or who, just like the stick or what, the way of traditional farming, to modern farming. That is what she needs. She needs to understand why the rain is not coming on regular time, the way she used to farm with the perspective of the rain is coming. But nowadays, the rain is either coming late or coming early. And when it comes, it destroys her crops. She needs to understand that phenomenon. She needs to understand that situation. And the easy way to understand it is through science communication. We are the science communicators. We are not perfect in science. We are not perfect in science industry, world. But once we we understand the scope of the work, we understand the summary, the abstract of it, then it is in our mandate, it is in our passion, in our domain to digest the content in a way that the communities who are in Nyamasheke, who are in Karongi, who are in Nyagatare, who are in Kirehe or Rwamagana or Byumba or Gicumbi, whatever, she or he understand clearly the message. And in a channel of communication, something that shows that your message was positively received or your communication was an effective is based on the feedback you get. If your message is about calling for people to start farming as the rain is coming, people start buying fertilizer, people buying some inputs and all these kind of alternatives way of farming. So, and then you, in a radio program, you receive some feedback that farmers, people, they are now calling, asking fertilizers, people, they are asking where to buy seed, all these, they are feedback that your communication was ineffective. So briefly, that is why when I started this conversation, I said this question is very tough to answer. But honestly, science communication is needed more than ever. I didn't focus on misinformation, but let me end this program, maybe this conversation, talking about also on a side of misinformation. A scientist is there in research lab, in research lab for almost 2 years in a research. Then finally, the result, which he has been doing so many trials, show that there are some upgraded seed that can resist to fall armyworm, hunger. And he has so many proofs that the result, they are real. Then after he published his paper or her paper, a group of people, from nowhere, they came with their powerful way of communication, putting down the research funding that someone has been doing almost 5 years, 10 years. These people, they tarnish the fundings into something dangerous by calling everyone to avoid any adoption of these kind of improvements. If you take it, you are going to have horns, you are going to have you diabetic, you are going to have cancer, you are going to die, and all kind of terrible things. In 1 year, 2 years, 3 months, the funding or the publication or the result, they are tarnished into one of the most dangerous things. You get it? So it will require that scientist so much energy to prove to the general public that his or her research, they are far from what these people they are talking about. They are there to improve people's lives, not to kill them. But because the misinformation, which is faster than even like a needle, it's very faster. Misinformation, they learn so much. Misinformation, the rumors, they are so faster. They have tarnished already the publication. So when you bring this kind of seed to the communities, many people, they will reject it automatically. They will never accept it. So many interpretations. From the first person who sent it to so many as the communication flows, so many interpretations. And the result ended up in negative hands. So to make sure that people, they are aware, they are ready, there should be also a room for science communication. How our scientists are ready to explain to the general public the role and the advantages of their research to the general public. How to do that? It is either through science communication, by themselves, or by calling people like me to do their part. So that when their research, they are out there, it doesn't end up in that chaos of misinformation and disinformation. So briefly, I'm attending one of the IUCN World Conservation Congress 2025 in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. I saw so many innovations, technologies, all toward a transformative conservation. Let me say something. Science communication is a key. No matter what you do, as a researcher, as a scientist, if you don't plan for science communication, for an effective communication, your research will always end up in scientific journals, libraries, paper books, but in terms of making impacts, always is zero. My name is Jean-Claude Habimana. I'm a science communicator professionally based in Kigali, Rwanda. And currently, I work with the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, based in Kigali.